my life. And I'm trying to get these crazy thoughts out of my mind. And you gave me all the weapons, but it's still a fight. So help me maintain, help me maintain. Yeah, I don't wanna live in the stress or fear, 'cause it's getting crazy every day I hear. All the love and peace you give to me, I hold so dear. So help me maintain, help me maintain. 'Cause soon as I walk out the door, I need you more and more. See, I realize that sometimes I'm just not that smart, but I desperately just wanna be where you are. And compared to a while ago, I've got it far. So help me maintain, help me maintain. 'Cause soon as I walk out the door, as soon as I walk out the door, oh, and I need you more and more. And you know what's in store. I need you more and more. And I recognize this is a day that you have made. So I walk in love and pour a smile on my face. But in case I run into someone on a different page, so help me maintain, help me maintain. Oh my child, God, help me maintain. Oh my peace, help me maintain. My sanity, help me maintain. My smile, Jesus, help me maintain. My life, help me maintain. My heart, help me maintain. Every part of me, help me maintain. Help me maintain.
A sort of reality. Maybe I really don't know myself. Probably being inspiring myself is very toxic. I became the only little person in myself. So every time that I talk, I'm like a cyanide. I'm drinking myself. My bones are shaking. They're weak. They are weary. So every time, it's not a question of if I know myself. It's a question of if I've truly identified myself, because I started a journey that I could not finish. But I'm still going. I was still running. Maybe myself wasn't truly who I wanted to be. Maybe I wanted to be another version of someone who is another version of someone, but you truly cannot be an original second copy. Maybe myself was hidden in what my parents would say. Oh, Samuel, please study engineering. So maybe you would be the pilot and then you would make more money. Or maybe I don't want to be an engineer. Maybe I want to be a vulcanizer. But no, that doesn't make sense, because in Nigeria, being poor is a mentality that will fix ourselves. So making naira with our ideas is so fixated that no, our parents want us to be doctors so that we'll doctor our life and then we can be able to afford abortion. Then we abort our talent, then we flush it away, and then we're smiling. So after aborting our talent, we can no longer be pregnant. Because every time we receive semen, they just move down to the sea. And this is what you don't understand, man, because we are just like revolvers. Our words are living bullets. They kill us slowly and then we die. Because every time we are killing ourselves and then we are telling ourselves, don't worry. But when last will you sort of say, okay? When will you speak up? When will you tell yourself, say, I didn't know this swallow salt for both of us? When will you understand your reality? When will you bring yourself into that place where you understand that it doesn't matter what people say or how they frame their words, because words are like bullets. No, when you tell them, no, I am my gun, I am my pistol, I frame my words, and when I place it, I cock it. And then when I aim, I do not miss because I have to do not miss. So I want you to bring yourself to a reality that only you can actually make it. Stop trying to afford abortion. It's so expensive. Stop trying to buy it. So next time when people push your reality into your face, tell them it doesn't matter. Because your word is so expensive and only you can afford it. They can't afford it. It's so expensive for them. Stop telling small minds how big you are. Their minds can't accommodate it now. So this for you. If there is nothing you take out of this, I just want you to understand that it is you that has you. And being
when you were talking, I felt like crying. Sadly, this is the situation of the country these days. See, my mom want me to do this, my dad want me to do this, so that I could put food on the table and all that. Forgetting the part of, there is something God has placed in this boy. No matter the time it takes, no matter how long it takes him, just give him that time. When the time comes, you're going to marvel at what this guy is going to become. So many of us here sitting here, each and every one of you will be a mom and dad tomorrow. And I know you are tired of me talking. Someone like you see that we're born child tomorrow and you say the boy should not sing music. The boy should go and do doctor. Yeah? So please, let's take this thing to heart. If we born children tomorrow, for those of you that are born now, please let your child do what he wants to do. Just support and counsel him or her in the right way to go. You get it? There's a difference between counseling and pushing somebody to go and do something. You get that? So please. So one more time, give it up for Samosine. Push.
Tell your neighbor, be who God has called you to be.
Be who God has called you to be.
Turn to your next neighbor and tell your other neighbor, be who God has called you to be.
Be who God has called you to be.
So, the title of the song is Become, written by me. So, I trust you like it. Like the potter's image to become. Allow me to become. Allow me to become. Allow me to become. Allow me to become. Make me to become, Lord. Teach me to become. Allow me to become. Allow me to become a place where I find peace. Yes. A place where I see you. A journey made with you. Oh, allow me to become. No longer bound by sin. Yeah. No more afraid to fail. A spirit made of you.
become. Allow me to become. Allow me to become. Allow me to become. Make me to become. Lord, teach me to become. Teach me to become. Eternal life will come. And like you promise, image to be lost in your presence, God. You let me find myself in you forevermore. I'll be realized. I'll find peace and I'll see you shine. I journey this with you. Your ways with me, God. No longer bound to sounds, yes, because I'm in you. He's a new creation in Christ, yes. Our spirit made of you. Allow me to become. Allow me to become. Allow me to become. Allow me to become. Lead me to become. Lord, teach me to become. Teach me to become. You say I'm beautiful today. Let me become what you call me to be. Yes.
He's an icon. He's an exemplary. He's a force to reckon with. He is Mr. Andrew Uviase, a philanthropist, a great leader. He is the managing partner of KrestonOuc, Chartered Accountant Nigeria. Be Inspired for her very first conference is hosting Mr. Andrew Uviase. So ladies and gentlemen, with a standing ovation, and if your hands are not too busy, put them together as we make welcome our guest for this special show, Mr. Andrew Uviase.
I want to say thank you, sir, for being part of my program, and God bless you. So, quick one, sake of time, we'll be fast about it. So, can you please tell us your name and a brief about your origin? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for having me here today. I'm really delighted to be among the midst of these very promising young men and women. So thank you. My name is Andrew Uviase, or more precisely, Andrew Obaro Uviase. Well, I was born in a little village of Benin City. Not even the one you call a Kerala today, but really remote area of Benin. And from the village to where we schooled, the primary school was about, I can't say the number of kilometers, but it's like from here to my two. So you have to check that one every day before you get to school. And then at the point, we wouldn't even have the opportunity of going to school in the mornings because they brought in a secondary school. So the secondary school used the facilities in the mornings and then we used it in the evenings. So it was not a joke at all. From there, I went to Government College Ughelli. From Government College Ughelli to University of Port Harcourt. From Port Harcourt, I had a brief stint as a lecturer before I pulled out.
Okay.
So that is what I love. Yes.
We all know you're an accountant by profession. So, was accounting really the thing you want to do from day one, or you just fancy doing it?
Okay, quite frankly, I've always wanted to understand how money works. Because whenever we travel to our hometown, we happen to be from the same place with the Hebrews. Most of you, I don't know if you were old enough, but you've read about Michael Hebrew. He was one of the richest Nigerians until recently when he passed on, and I loved him. I knew how many businesses he was doing. He was into fishing, farming, and everything. So I said, well, if I understood figures, I might be like him. So that's the beginning. But initially, I was admitted to read sociology in the university. From sociology, I branched to economics before I finally pitched my tent with accountants.
Okay, I believe that everybody have your own food. Journey of you being who you are today will not be an easy one. So, at any point in time, like, man, this is not working now.
Yes.
Okay, should I quit? Have you ever had that intention of quitting before? That challenges.
Okay, the thing is, it depends on what you're talking about really, because
in accounting, no, in your field.
It's not easy to say you want to quit in accounting because it's a profession, and if you do it correctly, things will definitely fall in place. It is easier to say you want to quit in business than say you want to quit in a profession, because as a professional,
yes,
you make your name. If you talk, people listen and they respect you. So it's easy. I can tell you how rough it was, but for accounting, it's
okay. Okay. So, what was your strength during the process of school? Because what I tell us, right, going to school was kind of hard, and there was something you faced about it. What was your strength? You think this guy play a vital role in your life? Is anybody? Is he a man or a woman, a male or female?
Well, a lot of people have had one influence or the other, because growing up it was fun going with your elder ones to school. The place was far, but it was fun because we were young.
Yes.
Okay, so it's one of those fun. So there was no really difficult thing, but schooling was easy because I happened to be in a very good position in the family, so I had a lot of people taking care of me. So it was fun going to school, really. No difficulty at all.
Okay, why do you choose accounting? Like, why choose accounting? That's why you should venture into law after your university days and everything, or some other professions.
Yeah.
Why was accounting, like you said, Hebrews? But why? Is it because of the money, or because I think there's enough cash in accounting? Let me go and make some cash there.
You see, what I told you here is,
yes,
I wanted to be like Hebrew, okay?
Yes.
And the only way you could be like Hebrew was to understand how money works, how money moves, what makes you to multiply money, what can you do that can increase your wealth. So I believe accounting is a very, very good foundation if you want to be in business. So that's why I went into accounting, not necessarily because of the money, but it was a means to an end, not an end by itself. Okay.
Okay. Right now, you are the managing partner of KrestonOuc. And you might understand. Do you ever see yourself one day? Because I believe you started from a trainee down before you become a managing partner. From the beginning, do you ever thought, okay, one day I'm going to run an accounting firm here in Nigeria? Do you ever thought about that for a bit or one day?
Okay, the thing is, that's why I like this gathering, because I believe it's for you to have some good plans for themselves. Those who are very close to me, I have a file in my office. Any day you come, I can show it to you. That file was populated some almost 30 years ago. As at that time, I just woke up and I said, these are the things I want to do. I'm going to own a company that is into production. I am going to be an accountant with a firm. I'm going to own a farm. I'm going to be a farmer. And then, of course, I will be into the hospitality industry. So I listed everything, and I'm going to be a good stockbroker. I'm going to be an investor. So everything is there. That's some 35 years ago.
Okay, now you're saying that you write your visions.
Yeah, a long time ago, more than close to 40 years. As a university undergraduate, I'd already written everything. All I wanted to be were already atomized in that file. And I had each time to say, okay, at so time I will start this, at so time I will start this. And fortunately, most of the things I wrote some well over 30 years ago, I'm still implementing them as I have a very long way to go. Because it's a very long way, but those who are close to me will know that yes, this is happening.
And you have been privileged to have branches in Nigeria, not the 36 states in Nigeria, Port Harcourt, firstly, and everything. So, so we are right now in 2021. Okay. During your days, they are youths. Okay, let me think now. 1984. I don't know that time. I don't know what you're doing then anyway. So, will you compare the youths? How do you compare the youth right now? The youth of the 1984 or 1985 and the youth of 2021, same day right now. Who is more focused? Do you think they're more of distraction right now? We have the internet, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have so many internet, we have emails. Unlike before, you send letters, there are postings and everything. So how would you compare this generation to that of your own during starting times?
Okay. I think I need some time to explain that, because the point is this. There's a whole lot of generation gap, okay, and it is plus, it is minus. Sometimes in the office we sit down and say, look, this work is killing now, because if you send a letter, before you know it, immediately it's in your laptop, you have to respond immediately. Yes. But when we started off, somebody posts the letter, you'll be enjoying yourself, you don't know there's anything on the place waiting for you. So it is plus, it is minus. The speed of doing business, there is more money to be made now compared with before. But in terms of the youth tapping in, those who want to benefit, I can say that this is the best time to be alive. Okay? I don't want anybody saying that those days the graduates were fewer, you could easily pick a job, opportunities were more. No, far from the truth. These days, you have more businesses. You can do cross-border business with ease. You can be in your house and you'll be making money from the internet. Honestly, nowadays, we didn't have anything like that. So, but in terms of taking advantage of the opportunities, it's a different ball game. In our days, if you're preparing for ICAM, for example, you needed to pass all the courses. There's nothing like saying if you pass one, they credit you. Nobody's going to credit you. If you have 4 courses, you have to pass all the 4 courses at the city before you can move to the next stage.
Yes.
And that is the habit I've tried to cultivate in our trainees, but it's not been easy. When we started off, all you needed to do was take any book. You have to read it from the beginning to the ending, and you understand everything. So that is what we are doing now. When we say, look, if you want a job in Kreston, you must read from beginning to the end. And people say, how can you read the book? But that is how it should be. And now you don't even need to buy a book. Anything you want is on the net. You're asking somebody a question just for book before you know the answer is there. That has cultivated laziness, and then, but the opportunities are more if only you can utilize it properly. Okay, so you have an advantage compared with the old cargoes like us.
Okay, we are living right now. The level of experience and credibility. So, we are still asking, we're still think about it. Why haven't Mr. Andrew Uviase written a book? Because we are still, why? Or is there any reason for that on LinkedIn?
Okay. Actually, I've tried to write a book. I've written a book before, which is still being reviewed. The book is going to be about 150 pages. We're actually collaborating with the Nigeria Investment Promotion Commission. We have signed an MOU, but then there wasn't enough finances to get the book out there. So we published a small pamphlet. If you see, if you come to our office, there's this book called Doing Business in Nigeria.
Yes.
So that one is just a summary of the full book. It tells you once you come to Nigeria, the legal and regulatory framework are going to face. See everything there. So that is it. But saying writing any book now, maybe when I retire in the next 5 years, I'll write a book, but not now. I'm too busy to write a book now.
Okay, so I think this question is very technical because this is everybody has a way of defining happiness. So you might say, okay, happiness, I think my wife, that's what I'm happy in life. My car, my house, my career, my things, passion, my goals. So but to you, what's your definition of what happiness?
Well, you said it, you've already answered it. Now, happiness is purely an individual thing. But for me, what gives me joy is accomplishing what I've set out. Not necessarily money. Like professionally as an accountant, anytime I'm able to defend a client and they don't have to shake their hair with taxes, it gives me a lot of joy. Okay? Because that is why you are. That's why people are entrusting their resources to you. Entrusting that, when somebody says, look, come and look at my books, you know all the money I'm getting, you know how I'm spending my money, it's a lot of trusting.
Yes.
And so, if you're able to protect their interests and they don't lose money, that should give you joy. Then, of course, when you set some goals you want to achieve and you achieve them, you feel joy. Okay, that's what gives me joy for now.
Okay, so do you see accounting? Okay, we are the many careers in life, law, engineering, accounting, whatever it is. So, do you see accounting now? Accounting deals with money. Understand? So, how have you been able to cope with the stress? I know that you are in small business side now. Understand? So, how have you been able to cope with that tension, that stress, and everything?
On the strength and the head, you need a lot of head to be able to do the job. But having said that, in life, you really have to plan. Okay? If you have good plans, how you want to use your day, like if you come to the office, the first thing in the morning is to see your to-do list.
Yes.
As you are walking, you are crossing. As you are walking, you are crossing. So that's why we don't look at time much when we are walking. It's when you are finished crossing enough to do that to say, okay, that is okay. So with good planning and then dedication. But what I've seen, and another advice I want to give to the youth is this. Oil does not mix with water.
It's true. Yes.
If you want to really be an accountant, it's like being born again. You have to give your life to the profession. So you cannot really afford to over-socialize as an accountant in practice. Okay, because the laws are changing every day. The taxation rules are changing. The accounting rules are changing every day. So you need to read, you need to be abreast. So if you are going to 5 parties in a month, you might limit it to 2 in a year. Yeah, so that's why you see that it's difficult really to say you can do so many things.
For accountants.
In practice.
Yes.
You cannot. But with time, when you build a good manpower base, you can decide to pull out gradually. But then you are still in the accounting because you are going to have to be looking for business. And if you are going to be looking for business, the profession is not like every other business where you can advertise.
Yes.
You cannot go to radio to say, look, use us, we are very good or we are very cheap. If you tell somebody that you are cheap, that is really a disservice because it means you don't know what you're doing.
Yes.
So as an accountant, when you talk, people listen. You know, there's so much confidence in our firm to the extent that even some people, they cannot spend money without calling us. Their own personal money, before they spend it, they have to place the go and say, look, oh, this money, if I spend it, what will happen? I say, okay, do like this, do like this, do like this. But suppose I want to give my child a money, if the government give us, I should come and pay tax on it. You know, so when you talk, people listen, there's credibility, there's respect. So you need to devote time to it. It cannot be business as usual.
Okay. So, to the beginning of this conversation right now, you always be very realistic about the word time. Can you please explain to the people right now sitting down here about time? Just give them the importance of time, the necessity of time, the importance of time. Can you just at least advise them about the use of the time? You might not be in an accounting sector right now, life in general, sir.
Yes, the thing with time is this. You know, every minute counts.
Okay.
Whether you use it or not is not going to wait for you. So every day you wake up, you must say, okay, how best can I use my time? Because if you waste it on any particular thing that is not productive, that thing is lost for life. That particular time is lost. So your time is limited. In fact, if you take your lifespan, for example, as when you're going to give, say, 75 years, how much do you have? How much time do you have in a day? What do you want to do with it? So, at the end of the day, it boils down to planning. And scale of preference is key. What is important from what is not important? Because if you don't properly define what is important, you begin to waste your time on frivolities. Okay? And it's within the overall context of your objectives and goals in life. So use your time wisely.
Okay. Can you just clap? Okay, lastly, sir, before I let you go, I know your time is money. Like you said, you're always talking about my time, so I believe your time is money. Okay, sir, I believe you might have a motto in life. You might have like a saying or a parable. So, can you tell us about yours? What's your own motto in life? What's your parable? What's your saying? Yes.
Okay, you see, what drives me in life is you can always get better.
Wow, you can always what?
Get better. Okay.
You can always what?
Get better.
Thank you.
So, if you are doing anything in life, always have it at the back of your mind that you can always get better. Can you just use 2 more minutes on this, okay? I've done so many businesses. I've lost money, I've made money. But I believe that no matter the business you're doing, if you have the patience and try to see where it is not working, you can always get better. Okay? So if you are doing something today and it seems it's not working, the idea is not to say, okay, I'm tired. It's to say, okay, the people who are doing it correctly, how are they doing it? With time, you will know that there are other ways of doing it that to make you get better. Okay? I've been a tailor.
Wow.
Yeah. I've done tailoring for close to 20 years. Wow. And when I started, it was quite tough. Really, really tough, if you know what I mean. In fact, at this stage, I was saying, okay, my neighbor's shop got bombed. Okay? And I said, God, why did this one happen to me? It would have been easier if his mother got bombed. I can just tell people, look, I'm quitting because I mean, the place got bombed. It's not my fault. Yeah, so I said to my wife, I said, look, man, I wish it was my mother that got bombed. Now by now, I will be free. But luckily, it did get bombed. And then we look at it, it's okay. What are we doing now? How do we have comparative advantage? And I said it can get better, so we introduce IT into tailoring.
Okay.
And when we introduced IT into tailoring, it was a big sale. We realized that tailoring wasn't just sewing your agbada. You could do uniform, you could plan for politicians, you could have a list of clients, and then with time we were catering for, people like Frenchies, Tantalizers, the big fast food, Edco, big time companies. We supply their uniforms. That is tailoring. And then we try to improve on our technology. We went to monogram, the politician dresses they were wearing, we are producing them. And we are producing here and supplying as far as Abuja.
Wow.
Yeah. I've done farming. I farmed for so many years. I had a snail farm. I tried and worked on it. It didn't quite work well because the fundamental thing in the feasibility was not right. So we had to pack up and then we went back to the drawing board. Today, the kind of farm we are having is not with child. You understand? So that is it. What is it that I've not done? I've done kabu, I've vehicle, I've done accounting, and now we are into hospitality.
Yes.
It's getting bigger. So that's it.
Okay, sir, can you just advise the youths about life? I'm sorry I said last week, but let me add an addition to it. Thank you. Okay. Can you just advise the youths about life in general? So, sir, because many people here are not accountants, so I won't say in accounting terms. Sir, okay, life in general.
Yes. My advice to the youth is this. From day one, as soon as you have good sense, try to say, okay, this is what I want to become. Okay, have a vision. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Is there anybody here that doesn't have a vision? Okay, if you have a vision, don't delude yourself to think that if you pray very hard, your vision will be simple to achieve. Okay? God will give you the enablement. In fact, it's even in the Bible that your days will be rough. Okay, no matter what, God will see you through. But don't think that you are not going to see difficulties. And then you have to be focused. Most of the peer pressures you are having today, they are basically negative, which shouldn't be. Okay? There are things that can only bring you down. Number one, drugs. Drugs will not do anything for you, can only bring you down. Then, most importantly, Suruloba. Be patient. The easiest way to make money is the easiest way to crash.
Wow.
Because, you say, okay, I'm going to make money, I will join Yahoo. You can make money from Yahoo, but can it be enduring? For example, if you make money today as a Yahoo boy, can you pray that your child should inherit it? Be honest with yourself. Yeah?
That's a big one.
You cannot. So, always have a long-time vision to know that, look, this thing is going to be difficult, but I will eventually achieve it. And also believe in yourself. There is nothing you set out to do that you cannot do. And that is what I've realized in my life.
Yes.
If you want to do anything and you make up your mind, prayers, hard work, focus.
Prayer, hard work, focus.
Will get you there.
Yes.
Okay? That's my advice.
Okay.
Remain steadfast and never be tired of seeking knowledge. Knowledge is key. You read and read and read and watch those who have succeeded in your field. That's, even if you don't meet the person physically, he may have written books. You have a mentor to say, okay, this is the guy I want to be like. Like I told you, as a child, I've always wanted to be like Hebrew. I'm not anywhere close to Hebrew, but maybe it has been able to pull me up. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Don't joke with your family when you eventually have a family life. Because if the confront is not settled, you cannot have the peace of mind. Okay?
Yes, sir. Okay, it's been a... Are you guys inspired right now? Yes. Are you guys inspired right now? Yes. Okay, good right now, sir. Okay, yes, sir. It's been a privilege having you today. Yes, sir. Okay, I want to say, sir, a big thank you to you, sir. I'm grateful and honored. Okay, sir, on behalf of the BeInsipredTv family, I just want to say thank you so much for taking your time, your precious time to be part of our program today. And words can only express our sincere gratitude to you, sir. Okay, give you a second of appreciation, sir.
Photographers. If you don't snap anything, snap this one. So, don't snap anything. Make sure you snap this one. Please. Keep that. It's very easy.
Who's sitting right now, sir? Okay,
Yes, for me, I'm highly honored to be among your midst today, and I want to thank you very much for finding me worthy to be in this gathering of youths that are inspired. Personally, I would say that this gift is being received on behalf of the entire family, especially my loving wife, Charity. Like I told you before, if the whole front is not settled, there's not much you can do. Because if you know, when we started this job, we could travel for 3 months. Not now that we don't travel anymore. We'll be out for 3 months, and when you come back, you meet everything that somebody is keeping forth. So I dedicate this thing to her.
let's surprise the next one. Love you.
Thank you. And then if there is any assistance you need from us, either as a firm or as a person, I encourage you to come up. We will definitely assist you to achieve your goals.
Wait.
Thank you.
I like all this stuff. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, please. You know, you have been sitting there since all you. This is my turn. Let me sit down. So you said if we
Any assistance.
That's the type I like hearing, sir.
Yes. Don't tell me you want to host a party too.
No.
Any assistance.
Any assistance.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
That will make you to achieve your goals.
Yes, that will grow this our.
Yes, we will.
Exactly.
Trust me.
Okay. So, sir, on behalf of the Be Inspired team, we are launching our Be Inspired polo. It's just, let's say, an infant team. So we're just starting, and we intend to grow really far. Most of the youths today, what we need is this inspiration for those who are up there. They need people. Like he said, he wants to be like Hebrews. Right? That's the name he mentioned, right? But he's not there. He's still going. Imagine you whenever reach out, where you did, you don't check them. Get that thing. So we look up to them. So as an infant team, we don't know. It's not like we are asking, but we are coming to you, like you said. So let me go back and come on behalf of the team. The team is behind me now, and we are coming to you, sir. You said if you need assistance, if you need to anything you need, you should come to me. And we have come now, sir. From your heart of hearts, we want you to help us open the ground for the polo, launching it. Please bring Mr. Andrew's polo, please. Specially made for him. Please don't tell me there's no polo for. If you tell me there's no polo for you, I will drop this mic on the floor and walk out. Please. I hate what I don't like. Thank you. So on behalf of the team, we want you to just help us launch polo. You open the floor for us, sir. And then in the doings of doings, and I know say doings the pass waiting. Repeat after me. Doings the pass waiting. Thank you. When Mr. Andrew finish doing it for us, then we take over. Everybody else take over. So please bring Mr. Andrew's polo, please. If you don't have his name on text, this my oga. If I tell you he likes packaging, this my oga, he likes packaging. You should have given it to him, me. On behalf of the team.
Alright.
No, don't open the shirt. Okay, open it. Yeah. This my oga. On behalf of the team, sir. Please, cameraman, please. You have to snap picture with this. Yes, please. Open it. Let the Be Inspired show. Please. Cameraman.
This is amazing.
Mr. Andrew said it's what? You see, you are getting words from this man today. You have to what? Jot things down. Please. Jot things down. Please, I'm not seeing flash. I want to see flash. Take this thing. Let me see
Yeah, I think we are
Clear,
done.
clear pictures. Are you done?
Yeah.
So, sir, on behalf of the team, we present this to you as a token from our heart, and we just want you to open it for us. Open the floor. Let me not use the word they used to
Okay,
use.
let me ask you a question.
Okay,
What,
okay, sir.
is it that you want to produce more of the t-shirts, or you want to embark on another project or program, or what does that mean?
I should keep talking back.
Let's be clear exactly what we need. We're not looking at a situation where you can get more money to enjoy.
No. Is that okay, sir. Like you said, we want to produce more of the t-shirts and also grow and reach those men like you, men of your status, sir. Getting to them, we know we need a level of, let's say, there's this English word I'm looking for, I don't remember it.
Okay, do you have a budget? How much does it cost to produce one t-shirt?
4,000 naira, sir.
So 4,000 naira. It's okay. I will get back to you. But you can just take a census of the people that are present today.
Okay, sir.
Some of that we will go on to.
handle.
Okay, so first of all, I want to say a big thank you to Mr. David. I'm really grateful for this opportunity. So I would like everybody that's a creative, or if you have a dream and you're young, I'd really like you to listen to this. Now, if you read this, now the truth is, I thought that we prepared this slide. My team prepared this slide for old people. Actually, we thought that we were going to come here and meet a lot of old minds, but I'm really a lot more excited. I'm seeing people like me. Now you see, 3 million Nigerians lost 18 billion naira to Ponzi schemes. Alright? What does it mean? It means that we actually have money, but we want to create wealth for ourselves. We want to create more money for ourselves. And those that don't have money, they rely on their social skills to create money. So that's why they're falling for Ponzi schemes. Now, where am I driving at? The reality here is everybody that has a dream, has a goal, is looking for a way to make money for themselves. What we do basically is, Mr. Andrew talked about accounting and finance and all those big words. You see, something he will tell you is there is a group of people, as we like to call them, the 1% of the general public. They know how money works. Now they don't want you to know. That's why they cluster together in funds, in investment companies. But Mr. Andrew will tell you that. Now the reality is, you can't afford to be among them. I'm sorry, but you can't afford to be among them, because in order to qualify to be among them, you have to be worth a certain amount. You have to earn a certain amount. But since you can't earn that, what do? Do you steal? No. That's what we realized, and that's why we created an opportunity. We went to partner with these people in funds, in asset management companies, in mutual funds. We went to get the opportunities and bring it down. So that
okay, I'd like to say thank you to kcent for this opportunity, and I'd like us to bow our heads while I pray. Actually, Heavenly Father, we thank you for today. Thank you for the grace to be here. Thank you for the opportunity to be in this meeting, in this place, and receiving all this inspiration. We declare that the grace to put everything we've heard today to fruition has been bestowed on us in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
And we declare, as many of them that have dreams and goals, we declare that everything they require to achieve whatever they set their mind to do, it's coming to them in the name of Jesus. Thank you, precious God, for our weeks blessed. All weeks will prosper. Opportunities